Recording in progress.
So hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the 2021 Christmas buffet, a veritable buffet of talent and wisdom to share with you in 7 courses this evening as we celebrate the holiday time of the year. It's certainly festive in my backyard. It snows in Florida only one day a year. It's the day of this party, and so here we are. And at Karen's house, it certainly seems. Hi, Karen. Say good evening.
Hello, good evening. It's very festive here, although this is, I will admit, my virtual screen, because this is what my house looks like when I can really move around. Right now, I have a Christmas tree in that spot, but only the lights are on. My husband and stepson were good enough to put the lights on, but we haven't been able to get around to putting the balls on yet. But man, at night, it looks fabulous.
Oh, right. So this is a fake picture of a real place.
It is a fake picture of my real living room.
Lovely. Well, happy Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy National Pickle Day, I believe.
Boxing Day,
yeah, all of that stuff. St. Nicholas Day just a few days ago. Beethoven's birthday tomorrow. So be ready, because you never know what could happen. And with that, we do have 7 different presenters. So we got some announcements that we need to make. Karen, anything on your mind?
You'll get CEUs for joining us tonight. All you have to do is report to your organization, and most of them will give them to you. IMDHA, of course, IHF, of course, ICBCH, and all friendly organizations. Just tell them you spent some time learning some tips, tricks, and techniques about hypnosis, and they'll give you your time back, an hour and a half of it. So thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, CEUs, Christmas Educational Units.
There you go.
They only give them out at this time of the year. What's coming up by way of events? The announcements coming out for Hypno Thoughts Live. I know that Randi Light, who is here, is going to be presenting at Hypno Thoughts Live. Karen Hammond is going to be presenting at Hypno Thoughts Live.
Michael Watson
is going to be presenting at Hypno Thoughts Live. And
Shelley Stockwell Nicholas.
Oh, I would bet so, huh?
Yeah.
and
Stephanie Conkle.
She's showing up. Yeah.
Of course, yes. And I'm looking around the room. If anybody else has been accepted, please let us know, because I'm going off what I've seen on the website.
Okay.
I certainly don't have any inside info.
Okay. Well, yeah. We none of us do this time. We're operating blind, but hey, it's wonderful. I do keep hearing that echo thing once in a while. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it doesn't seem to matter what's happening with the microphone. So we hope that it will just go away as the enlightened energy of the room begins to gently and easily press itself out into an expansive atmosphere, love and warmth, and right. And it all clears up.
So
Michael, sometimes if somebody has 2 devices at the same time tuned into Zoom, that can cause an echo.
Yeah, but I don't believe that that's happening. I was kind of watching for that.
Okay.
I don't see anybody with 2 places, but
for the festivities to start, but we've got a couple more pieces of business. If you're going to use the chat room, please use it for questions. Please don't use it to teach from the room or comment about what's going on, because that would be like standing up in the room and saying, hey, I've got an idea over here. So please let the presenters present. And if you have questions, put those in there and we'll make sure that they get asked. Your camera will be on for gallery view, so you'll be watched, seen, whatever. We'd love for you to keep your camera on, by the way, but I just wanted you to be aware that the camera is going to be on. If you're watching the recording, of course, that's not true.
And by the way, don't screen share unless you're the presenter and you have a need to screen share, because otherwise it would be like somebody standing in the room holding up pictures, and we wouldn't want to do that either. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to this. We are a minute away from our first presenter, and the great thing is that she's going to kick this off with some entertainment. This is going to be fun and festive, and I like the idea that we can have a little bit of a party amongst the celebration. So without further ado, Atlanta's finest, the hypnotic stylings of Stephanie Conkle. Hi, Stephanie. Say hello. And
Hi, Michael. Hi, everybody. Karen.
hello.
Thank you. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And right off the bat, I'm going to say that I am going to be posting a link in the chat, and I'm going to be sharing my screen. So, but just for my talk, because I'm doing, oops, let me see if I can. I'm doing Hypno Bingo with you guys today, so I'm not going to give like a long, boring talk. Not that talks are, I mean, a long, fascinating talk like I usually do. I'm going to be playing Hypno Bingo with you guys. So if you will look in the chat, there is a link that should give you a random card. Now, some people may get the same card, and that's okay if you do. There's a tiebreaker, or way to do the tiebreaker or whatever. But and whoever wins Hypno Bingo, you will get a free smoking cessation protocol from me, or if you don't need a smoking cessation protocol, then you can have like an hour phone call with me, like a consult call if you'd like. So that's what you win. So there's stakes at play. So it's more fun like when there's you can win a prize, right? So I need everyone to click on their links and make sure that a card is popping up for them. And I'm going to go ahead and share the screen now.
And I've got one. It's working fine.
Thank you. Okay, just give me a moment here to. All right, can you all see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and everybody has a card. Okay. Cool. And there's a way for me to check the cards too. So so we're gonna, it's just like regular bingo. There's no trick to it. you win if you get 5 down, 5 across, or 5 diagonal. Okay. And when you win, just yell Hypno Bingo. Okay.
Okay. Can you mark the card somehow?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So let me show you. Hang on. Let me get a card for myself, and I'll show you how this. So what you'll be able to do is just click on this, click on the square, and it'll make a red X over it, and you can click on it again, and it'll go away. So I did this with my coaching group the other day, so I still had all those X's on my card.
Maybe she's
All
just sharing her screen.
Let's make sure that this is working for everyone. Is anyone having a problem?
Yeah.
No? Okay, cool. So are we ready to begin Hypno Bingo?
Sure.
All right.
I cannot.
Someone say hang on. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start calling. So
Do we need to be unmuted to answer?
You need to unmute yourself to say Hypno Bingo when you get bingo. And I don't care if everybody wants to unmute themselves right now and laugh and talk amongst each other. This is weird when I'm just talking and it's all silent on the other end when we're playing a game. So why doesn't everybody unmute themselves?
We're just not quite sure about what that will do with this echo thing that we've been having, but okay, yeah, but
it's okay for this game. I'm not giving a talk. It's just bingo.
Right.
Stephanie, we need to get your game manager off the screen so we can get to our own.
Get my game manager? Oh, I'll just, no, you've got,
Years
okay.
ago.
So
Yeah,
you're going to need to just, you don't have to look at me. I'm just calling out the.
But right now you're sharing your screen, right?
Right. I'm sharing my screen so you can see what the answer that I'm calling. So like the first one is Milton Erickson. So then you would go into your screen, and if you have Milton Erickson on your card, you would just click a X over Milton Erickson.
Stephanie, we can't see our screen because yours takes over our whole screen. I can because I have a second window, but your shared screen is
Oh, so should I just
device.
stop sharing the screen?
Yeah.
There you go. Woohoo.
There we
Okay.
go. Now we have to go back to the link and get our own
Actually, Shelley, y'all, if you've already opened up your card, it's still open. It's actually in back of this. If you reduce the size of the Zoom window, you will have found your card. It never went away.
Well, there you go. Thank you so much. Got it. Okay.
Okay.
I can't find mine.
Do you have it down at the, I don't know if you're Apple or. But down at the bottom of your screen, maybe you can see an icon that shows your browser. Because it's in your browser.
Oh. Oh.
Just try clicking it again. Yeah.
Technology. All right. Let me know when you guys are ready. Karen, you ready? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So number 1, Milton Erickson. Mark your card if you have Milton Erickson. And feel free to chat or laugh or, unmute yourselves during this part because I'm not giving like I said, I'm not giving a speech. We're just playing.
Okay.
All right. Number 2 is trance. So look at your card and see if you have the word trance. The next card is Emile Coué. I think I'm saying that right.
Yes, you are.
Mhm.
Okay, and let me know if I'm going too fast for you guys.
No, you're great.
All right. The next one is remember to forget. Remember to forget. Now there's a forget to remember, so not that one, but remember to forget.
So remember to forget. Okay.
Remember to forget. And the next one is just like that. Just like that. Hypnosis. Easy one.
How do you spell that? TPH, no. And the next one is James Braid.
You have to have 5 in a row, right?
Correct. Ormond McGill.
Shelley, do you have that one on your card?
I was going to ask her too.
No, he didn't make it on my card.
Aw. If this, then that. If
Bingo.
this, then that.
Bingo.
Yay!
That was quick.
It was Randi.
Yes.
Awesome. Congratulations, Randi.
Thank you. I thought we were going to have to like guess the name of the person.
You're gonna be a non-smoker.
So, oh yeah, so the prize is a session? Is that
Well,
right?
the prize is a free smoking cessation class.
Oh.
Oh,
If you need, yeah. But if you don't need, like if you already have a great smoking cessation protocol of your own, you don't need one, then you can just, Randi, you can have a phone call with me if you want, whatever.
Oh, they both sound good.
Okay.
Do I have to decide right now?
Nah, we'll
That was
try to
fun.
message each other.
Cool. Thank you,
So-
Stephanie.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Stephanie, that was great.
Really fun.
That was cute.
by the way, the bells are so much nicer than what they. But as we get to the end of each of these 10-minute segments, you might hear some rumbling in the background. Y'all know the names of all the reindeers, by the way?
I think so.
Try it out.
Dasher and
Dasher
Prancer,
and Dancer and Prancer and
Prancer and
Vixen,
Vixen, Donner and
Comet and
Blitzen,
Cupid and
Comet
Donner
and
and
Cupid.
Blitzen, and
Yes.
the most famous reindeer of all.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Zoom moderator.
You know, Marie Osmond was on television this morning, and she said that her real name is not Marie, it is Olive. It's Olive Marie Osmond. And that when she was a little girl, she thought that song Rudolph was all about her because there's a verse where it says,
Olive.
the other reindeer.
All of the other reindeer.
Oh.
Oh, that's the fits.
Isn't that cool? So something, yeah. So, well, there we are. So thank you very much, Stephanie. This was a lot of fun. We really,
I really enjoyed putting that together.
Thank you.
and
You're welcome.
our next presenter, thank you, Stephanie. And our next presenter is my great and lovely friend from Florida here, who I have known for a long, long while now, it seems, isn't it? And I used to do a bunch of training with Patty. I hope that we get to do some more of that, but none other than Patricia Scott. So welcome, Patricia.
Thank you. Ooh, I love being in this energy. So 10 minutes, wow. It's easier to me to talk for 5 hours, but I'll see if I can watch the clock, which is something I'm not really adept at doing. So all of this wonderful energy that's here. And you know, it's been an interesting couple of years. I'm sure at different points in history, a lot of our ancestors probably thought they were living through the hardest times that could ever be imagined at different places and different times throughout human history. I'm sure those thoughts were common among people, among humans. And yet, you know, if we didn't live them, it's always something to read about things, but it's different to live through them. So what really matters is what we're going through right now. And it occurred to me, since this is happening towards the end of the year, and we're about to embark on a brand new year. And I thought, you know, discovering your possibilities, your new possibilities within you that perhaps wouldn't, some of which may not have even been there a couple of years ago, and some of which are there now, partly, if not wholly, because of what you have been through the last couple of years. So I started letting my brain work while I sleep at night, which is something I do quite often. It works better when I'm not thinking about it. And I came up with the idea of the new possibilities within us that aren't really new. Of course, they've been there all along. And I was looking up some things about powerful events and materials. One of the things I was looking up was gold. And what I read was gold was created when stars collided and created a supernova. And I thought, whoo, I don't remember that, but I'm sure I probably learned that in high school. And I thought, wow, all of us here, according to some scientists, have star material within us, right? Literally, you know? So here we go. We've got all of these stars colliding, so to speak, in a wonderful, positive, energetic way, creating even more possibilities than we would have had we not been here together today. So each experience can create something that wasn't possible otherwise. And then I was reading about pearls, how pearls are created, these beautiful, perfectly formed, symmetrical things that are created through irritation. Think about that. There's probably been a little bit of that in our background the last couple of years, maybe more than usual. And then I was, you know, precious gems and stones and things like that are all created through pressure. And some are created through intense heat. So temperature changes. So all of these things combined made me start thinking about what the possibilities may be within us based on some of the pressures and irritations and stress and all of those things that have been happening the last couple of years, especially, that may now have created for us as well to be able to uncover, if you will, some of our resilience, some of our strength, some of our inner possibilities. So if you would like to close your eyes, because I thought this should, you know, it's nice to have a little inner experience because, you know, isn't that where they all are anyway? And we can come back out here and enjoy the outer experience in a moment. But inside of you, think about some of the irritations, some of the stressors, some of the challenges, some of the pressures that you have encountered in the last couple of years that may have been a little bit unique and unfamiliar and unusual compared to the other ones you've had in your life. And knowing that throughout your entire life, the things that you made it through, that you survived, that you endured, actually created possibilities for you and intelligence and wisdom and experience and resilience and strength that perhaps was even more than you would have had that not happened. Now, sometimes we may wish it hadn't happened or isn't happening. And yet, when it does, that seems to be when we truly find the amazing greatness within us that was always there. Kind of like when they go and pan for gold, in a stream, and you pick up the pan and you start sifting through all of that debris, right? At first, it's just a lot of debris that may have been picked up. It wasn't an original part of the gold, just like a lot of our debris wasn't really an original part of us from the very beginning, our pure essence of who we are and what we are, that star matter, if you will. And then as you sift through, the idea of a sifter came to my mind. And I remembered my grandmother when I was a little girl used to sift flour all the time, and I loved to play in the flour. And even the debris that's falling out, you realize has some usefulness while it's there. And it can even later on, you can look back, sometimes you can laugh about it. Sometimes you just remember it in a way that you say, you know what, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have this now, or I wouldn't have as much of this now, or I wouldn't appreciate myself and others and things about my life the way that I appreciate them now, had I not sifted through all of that debris. And yet on the other side, some people end up with some of that debris still clinging, still hanging on. And the nice thing about what all of us here do and know about is that we have wonderful ways to realize with metaphor and with our miraculous, what I call our unlimited mind, because that's what the imagination is. There aren't any limits, like our essence hasn't any limits. Who we are in the essence, there's nothing that can really be fearful or can be dangerous to us. So if you think about the essence of you, like that gold that surfaces through all of that debris with that strength that nothing can change, nothing can interfere with it. And the perfect pearl that's formed after all of that irritation and the different types of beautiful stones and matter that are formed through coming through hardships and challenges. A human being, I believe, above all of those things, because we have the ability to think and to evolve and to grow. And we have those wonderful emotions and those drives within us that all of us may have different ideas about where that comes from. And yet those of us that have that drive, that have that desire to be all that we can be and to help others be all that they can be, there's that inner energy that as we surround ourselves with positive energy intentionally, like we're doing here tonight, we can actually lift ourselves up. Those of you that know me know I love that word, up. And as we lift ourselves up out of that debris, we find, as we look back on the last couple of years, perhaps, and look forward very soon to a brand new year about to be born, that we have the ability in our mind, in our unlimited imagination, to recreate who we are, what we're going to do, what our goals are, and how we're going to use the amazing gifts of life. And as I close here, I did some research on gratitude. I always knew it was a wonderful thing that felt good, coming to us and coming from us to others. So how about sending inside of your amazing self the gratitude for the uniqueness and the specialness, the spark that you are in that essence that's unlike any of the rest of us. And that just makes this whole world so much more interesting and exciting and resilient. And that's what we all help each other to be. So you can come back now to this outside world, which can be pretty darn interesting as well, especially tonight. And thank you very much for being here with me, because, you know, I'm enjoying this probably more than all of you are, because I'm living here. So thank you. I can't hear you, Michael. I like all the, was it jazz hands, right? Can't hear you, Michael.
Michael, you're muted.
How weird is that? I was holding my bar down. It was supposed
I
to.
made it in 10 minutes. It's a miracle. See, miracles are already happening. It's not even Christmas yet.
It is a miracle, and we're not even on 34th Street. So how about that? So lovely,
right.
lovely. Thank you so very much, Patty. We really appreciate it, everybody.
Thank you.
And just because you can't hear all the applause, I want you to know I've muted. Just because. But again, whenever you have something that you all need to say, feel free to unmute yourself. But now it's time to. By the way, I don't know if you guys are fans. I love Broadway, right? I love theater. I love musicals. I've been to see the new West Side Story. Oh my God! OMG! You got to go see what they did to this brilliant piece of theater. And among all of the theater of the last like 20, 30 years, there's one that sort of stands out, and that was Cats. Y'all remember Cats? And there's all kinds of cats. There's Jellicle Cat, right? There's whatever, all those great cats anyway. And there's one kind of cat, however, that didn't seem properly in that musical, and that was a scaredy cat. And we just happen to have here in our group tonight a young lady who has expertise in the area of scaredy cats, and she's going to share that with us. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I introduce to you my good friend, Lori Hammond. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Michael. Hi, everyone. I am so honored to be here with you all. And I'm like, I had no idea how fun this was going to be. I knew it would be awesome, but this is so fun. And Stephanie, Patricia, I loved that. So I met Michael Watson 4 years ago, and one of the first things that struck me was what an incredible storyteller he is. So Michael, when you were telling the story about Marie Osmond mixing up the song with her name, it made me think of a story about my little grandbaby that has to do with stars. So then when Patricia started talking about stars, and oh, that moved me so much. I needed to hear that. Thank you so much. I thought, okay, I have to share this story. So my little grandbaby is going to be 2 years old in February, and her name is Zelda. And she has just started talking in the past few weeks. And one of her first words was Hawa, Hawa. And she would point at, she was just like enamored with stars. And she would see a star and she would say, Hawa, Hawa. And I asked her mom, why, like, what is this all about? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. My voice shakes when I'm nervous. I'm nervous to be speaking in front of you all because there are so many. I'm just honored to be here among so many incredible people. I just want to tell each and every one of you, I see you. You have, those of you that I know, you have, each one of you spoke to me in really awesome ways. So my topic is breaking the habit of being a scaredy cat in 3 minutes or less. And I told Michael that I would show people how to silence their imposter monster using a simple kinesthetic energy technique with the side effect of deep transformational self-love. So the technique I'm going to teach you tonight is so simple that I can do it in 7 more minutes and walk you through it. Many of you are familiar with this. The more I do this work, the more I realize that the simplest things are the most profoundly healing. So you can apply this to just about any area of your life. And since I'm on a mission to help people who are trained hypnotists silence their imposter monster, that voice in their head that says, oh, like, I really want to do this thing, but Michael Watson is already doing it. Karen Hand is already doing it. Like, who am I to make a difference in the world? And so the technique I'm going to show you can help you turn off that inner fear. It can also help you help a person, not you, because we've all arrived, right? Help a person turn off anxiety, depression, addictive behaviors, you know, a craving or an urge. That's one of the first times I started using it was to help people turn off the urge to overeat. So what I'd like you to do is think about a behavior or a limiting belief, a problem in your life, and something, something that you would like to overcome. It could be if you're a person who wants to get yourself out there and make a difference in the world and start sharing hypnosis with others, it could be that fear of putting yourself out into the world. And just let yourself think about the last time you experienced this feeling of fear, anxiety, craving, and be there now. Associate in seeing what you see when you're here, hearing what you hear when you're here, and feeling what you feel in this area, in this space that you're in when you experience this. And then just notice the intensity of that feeling on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being non-existent, 10 being through the roof. And now I invite you just to scan your body and notice where that feeling lives in the body. And it's totally okay to guess or make it up. It works just as well. You could just drop into that area and just tell that feeling, oh, there you are. I see you. I see you. So often we try to ignore or resist those emotions, those feelings. And when we simply witness them and observe them, there's science that shows it takes 90 seconds for that feeling to move through the body. When we unkink that hose of resistance and just feel what we're feeling. Feel the fear, feel the craving. And just notice what you notice about that shifting sensation. And now I invite you just to be fully back in this room, continuing to have your eyes closed and just think about the way you felt when Patricia was walking us through that protocol, the way you felt when we were all laughing, the way you feel when Michael tells a story. Think about that gratitude that Patricia mentioned earlier. And just allow yourself to express gratitude for showing up to this event, for showing up to other things in your life that might have been hard, that might have been creating that pressure. Just express gratitude. Think about one thing in the room you're sitting in that you are grateful for. One object, whatever comes to mind. It could be as simple as the chair that is supporting you. And notice the sensation of being supported by that surface. And then if you would just bring your hands to your heart. And there are 23 of us on this call right now with our hands to our heart. And there's something so powerful about a group of people, especially a group of healers coming together with a common purpose, with a common intention. And I just invite you to imagine that as you breathe in, that you are breathing in love. It's as if the hand that is on your chest is radiating light and love into your heart. It's as if your heart is inhaling light, exhaling light. And that light is beginning to infuse through every bone, every nerve, every cell of the body. Each breath in enhances that light until you begin to glow. In this space, sitting here glowing with light. And I'd like you to imagine a concentrated beam of beautiful light right in your heart. And then I'd like you to think about one other person on this call, one person that has stood out to you, one person that comes to mind. And just imagine that you could step into the room with them and send a beam of light from your heart to theirs. Imagine that you could look them in the eye and just say, I see you. I'm glad you are here. And now I want you to imagine that all 22 other people chose you. And we are all standing around the room with you right now, sending you light and just saying, I see you. I'm glad you're here. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to this moment. Thank you for being here with me, you guys. I'm so grateful for every one of you. And I am done.
I have to unmute my microphone in order to sigh out loud. What a lovely, lovely thing. So ladies and gentlemen, Lori Hammond, and thank you so much, Lori, for sharing.
Whatever made you think we would want to come back from that?
Yeah.
It's 10 past.
Beautifully, beautifully done.
Thank you.
Lori, I did hear my name when you said, notice how you feel when Michael tells a story. And I thought, oh my God, now they're all irritated.
No.
Thank you very, very much. We really, really love that.
Thank you.
And if anybody is irritated by Michael telling stories, well, I'm going to have to learn how to do karate or some kind of martial arts or something in order to get you all under control, because the next lady that's going to be speaking with you on our stage has some expertise in one of the special martial arts, but she can tell you all about that. And she is none other than Deborah Yaffee. So hi, Deborah, say hello and introduce yourself.
Hi there.
Hi.
So let's see, I've never done Tai Chi with these little antler antennas, but I thought it would be kind of an easier way to connect with the heavens, the energy of the heavens. Seems to be working. So I'm just gonna, I want to teach you something, and also because it's the holiday, I want to involve some gifts in our imagination, and just give you something from what I do. I do sort of a hypnotic Tai Chi thing with my clients, and more I'm doing a lot of that these days. I call it body-centered hypnosis and sort of body-supported suggestions, because as we move, we're anchoring things all the time, aren't we? So I think in Tai Chi also, and Qigong, there's a lot of imagery that goes on. So it's a perfect sort of body-mind thing for us hypnotists to play with. So I'm going to teach you, have you play with me today. Maybe 2 or 3 little movements for you, for your pleasure and experience. You could do these seated, standing, or in your imagination. So if you remember the lemon experiment that we all do, from Hypnosis 101, just thinking about something starts the process of things going on in your body. So it's the same thing in Tai Chi. You only have to think about it and you start building your energy or moving the chi, creating at least 20%, as the research shows, at least 20% of the effect. So since we are in the season of light, I'm going to ask you, is anybody going to stand and join me? We're not going to do too much movement. We're just going to be great. Randi, terrific.
I'm standing up.
Okay, so if I'm looking over to the side, I actually have you connected from my class this morning. I have you actually connected to my TV monitor over there so that you can see me and I can actually see you. So great, so some will play seated. And also, it's very important to stay within your comfort zone. If anything hurts, don't do it. If you have tender, joints, take care of them. And great. So because it's the season of light, in the Celtic world, we talk about the thin times and the thin places where the worlds above and below, within and without, That connection kind of opens like a portal. So because we're all hypnotists, I'm just going to ask you to imagine that you've got that nice circle, sort of a magic circle, a circle of excellence. You may already have one. Just imagine that on the floor, full of all good things and good community spirit and our friendship here together, all together, and just sort of step into that circle. Nice. And there in your circle, I'm going to teach you the most important thing in Tai Chi is the posture. Actually does incredible things, and we're going to turbocharge your deep abdominal breathing with your clients with this. So for your posture, you want your feet like hip width apart or shoulder width if that's more comfortable, whatever's more comfortable. Just allow your knees to soften. So just bend your knees just a little bit. And as you do that, you may notice that your shoulders release, your fingertips draining down toward the earth, the tailbone reaching for the earth. If you need more stability, emotionally, mentally, physically, or spiritually, you can imagine that tailbone extending like a tail. I used to think of it like a dinosaur tail coming out behind me and resting on the ground. But these days, I'm like to thinking of a nice Chinese good luck dragon. That just gives me a little more stability. And then the top of the head. So this is an interesting thing in the Tai Chi posture, is the top is actually, it's a special acupuncture point. And the way you find it, I guess I'm wearing these for a reason, my antlers, because if you have a headband on, where the headband comes up right in the middle, up at the top there is where your, that point is. It's the hunter-gathering point of all the yang meridians in your body. And the way to find that easily is you can imagine that you're Mr. Spock or an elf. I guess it's going to be a Christmas elf. And just take your fingers to the top of those elf ears, bring them up. And where your fingers meet, that is that point. So just sort of put a little attention there, and you're going to allow your tailbone to reach to the earth. The knees are soft. The top of the head there is being suspended by a golden thread, but into the heavens. So you're just nice and loose. And so as you stand there gently, or you can sit, if you're sitting, you want to be more toward the front of the chair. And just notice there's a nice stretch that happens here. And the posture is easy and soft. Now this posture is actually, it's one of the only ways you can exercise the deep stabilizers of the spine. They're called the multifida for those who are science geeks, but they're really deep along the spine. And so even this posture, sometimes you can get some relief of your back, especially if you've been sitting. And also as you suspend from the heavens, you have this little chin tuck. So if you've been at the computer a lot, this can really help release some of that tension in the neck. So from here, we're going to imagine. So we're just going to play along. You're just going to follow me because that's easier in 10 minutes to do. So we're going to use our imaginations and gently remember our hypnosis, arms raising and falling. We're going to do a little of that. Use your imagination. So a little attention on the wrist. And as your hands float up, you let your wrists float up to shoulder height or less, whatever's most comfortable. Bend the elbows, and as the hands press back, the chin goes straight back. Release that. Make sure your elbows remain a little bit bent, and then as they come down, the chin just follows, not the neck, just the chin. Here we go. We're going to bring up the energy of the earth. Absorb it all the way down. Slow, slow, slow. Let it go all the way down to the toes. And as it reverses and comes back up through your body, Let the energy of the earth bring any tensions or negativities out. Return it to the earth for a little recycling. Maybe someone else can do something with it. Bring up that holiday spirit. Feeling grateful all the way through your body. Bringing up anything that doesn't belong there at the moment and return. Great. And so as you're standing here now, I just want to very quickly show you something about a breathing. Remember I said about this posture. So find that posture, knees soft, tailbone down, top of the head suspended from the heavens. Gently, now let the hands face each other, really important. That builds the chi, the hands face each other. And again, allow the wrists to just float up to shoulder height or less. Bend the elbows, sink into the knees, let the hands face the ceiling. And now you're going to do this abdominal breathing that you know how to do. Only you're going to imagine it's going to come in through your nose. The breath is going to come all the way down. We call it the dantian. It's about 3 inches below the belly. So think about the pelvic cradle, just breathing down there. If you can only breathe to here, again, use your mind. Imagine it coming down. You want to use colors, something nice, fine, fantastic. So we're going to breathe in and open our arms. We're going to breathe in and breathe and out. And in, I'm going to breathe in this holiday spirit and this joy of being with you, and breathe out any tensions and negativities that I was a little stressed earlier. Good. And then just let the hands come down. Now I'd like you, we're going to harmonize the yin and yang energies in our bodies. Sounds a little sexy, huh? So imagine in front of you, there's a table. And on that table, there's a gift box. And guess what's in the gift box? No, it's not a gift. It's a lump of coal. What? Somebody gave you a lump of coal? Well, in reality, we sort of gave ourselves a lump of coal, right? Our responses to things, you know, there might have been some unpleasant situations, some negative self-talk, whatever, but it's kind of a lump of coal that is in our life there. It's an ouch and ick, maybe a pain, could be a bad habit that, you know, you're wanting to let go of a habit, and it's been kind of a problem for you. It's wanting to hang in there because it likes you so much. So whatever that ouch, ick, or discomfort is, maybe it's a bad situation, maybe it's all of 2020. So whatever it is, 2021 extended, imagine that box. And so just like we did before, I want you to take the box in your 2 hands, bring the box up, sink in. And now as you breathe, just notice that. Just be aware of it. So we're just being able to breathe and be with that situation, whatever it is, the ouch, the ick. Nice. Now feel that readiness to let it go, or at least for now. You can always pick it up later if you want it back. But for now, you're just going to turn your pelvis so that you turn to the side, and just open those arms and drop the box. Set it down. And now I'm just going to place my hands down, and I'm going to sweep to the other side. And you know what's over there? As you turn your hands over, there's the thing that you really want instead. A nice feeling, and bring that. And bend your elbows up. Here, your little T-Rex here. You've got that sticky hands full of that good thing. Come back to center. And there's that lovely feeling, situation, new habit, whatever it is good that you want. Breathe that all the way down into the dantian and let it flood through your body, breathing in. Let that good feeling. And now maybe there's a little bit left that ick, ouch, or something that we didn't want. If there's anything remaining, or if you got another little thing in there, let's repeat that and go to the other side. Just turn, place it on the table, leave it, sweep across. Turn your hands over, and those little sticky hands grab onto something really nice that feels good. Nice, warm, fuzzy. Come back to center, bring that warm fuzzy all through your body. Beautiful. And I have one little more gift for you as we go through this. I want you to just, we're going to be breathing in and then releasing out. And I'm going to just share with you, because I love how this works for me. I love doing this open and close with a very 3 lines from John O'Donohue. He's one of my favorite Celtic writers. So as you breathe in, may all that is unforgiven in you, breathe out, be released. Breathing in, may your fears yield. Breathing out, their deepest tranquilities. Breathing in, may all that is unlived in you, breathe out, blossom into a future graced with love. And closing our movement, the hands face each other. And they just come down and we settle. And a little Tai Chi salute as I thank you. And may we all have a fantastic holiday season and new year, and hypnotic jumpstart into the new year. So thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much. And I was wondering, and I was surprised to see when you took those antlers off, I was wondering if you would lose your signal. I thought it might, it might have been helping you with the Wi-Fi. So we're running just a little bit behind schedule. So I'm gonna just move right on to our next presenter, who is none other than Randi Light. And Randi, whenever I think of Randi Light, and I don't know that you know this, Randi, but I just associate you so much with the Indiana sand dunes, because it was the place when I was a kid where we would get away. It was about just a little bit of a drive, but it was the place to sort of run away from home and hang out in the state park. So I'm just so happy that you're there. I wish I could come and visit you there one day. So welcome, Randi, and we're looking forward to what you have to share with us. The gifts keep on coming, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, thank you all. And that was wonderful. And thank you. I do live across the street from Lake Michigan and the dunes and get to go there pretty much regularly. And some of you guys might already know that I might know me as a peak performance coach, and I'm an Essential 4. I wrote the book and I train people, but I'm also what's called a 1 Million Meditators Ambassador. And as a 1 Million Meditators Ambassador, that's part of what I'm talking about today is humanitarian hypnosis. And when I met the founder of 1 Million Meditators, we both had the same idea, and we both had this desire to expand consciousness, to raise the consciousness of humanity and move us forward into love. And I used to just say move us forward, and now I say move us forward into love. And so it was really fun. So every few months, we're gathering all these people from all over the world to get together, to meditate together. And part of the reason why is I'm going to share with you some of the research backing up what Lori was, just barely introducing, but on the exact same page, because in the 1990s, John Hagelin brought together 4,000 meditators from all over the world and housed them in the Washington, D.C. area to see if they could reduce crime, violent crime. And people didn't know that they were there, except for obviously some people, but they actually reduced crime by over 20%. And the odds of this occurring by chance are like 2 in 1 billion. And the police wouldn't get on board at first, but then eventually they did, because violent crime, rape, different things like that, people didn't want to do it. Think about that, right? So because 4,000 people were meditating in that area, and since that time, there's been over 50 scientific studies researching and proving the benefits of group meditation on the nation and on any area where people are doing that. So what we're going to do in just a moment is a group meditation, but this is called humanitarian hypnosis. So it's going to take it a step farther. So Lori took us to help us heal. And so we're going to do a little bit of using that light to help other people heal, to help the planet heal. And a quote I like to say is, vividly imagine the end result with a great feeling. So vividly imagine the end result with a great feeling. It has 3 different components to it. Vividly imagining, right? So in hypnosis, using all our senses, vividly imagining the end result, the desired outcome, the intention, right? With a great feeling. So Dr. Glenn Ryan of the HeartMath Institute conceived of a study where to test healers' abilities on biological systems. And what he found, so he broke his people into 3 groups, and each group was already trained and knew how to do what's called heart rate variability. And how many of you guys are familiar with heart rate variability and breathing in and out of your heart? And today, when we do that, you can put your hands on your heart like Lori suggested. But so he broke, was told to get into that elevated mood of love or joy or appreciation, gratitude, some enthusiasm, and test to see if that would have an effect on a vial of DNA. And that group that got into heart coherence there was no statistically significant difference. But on the second group, he had them have a clear intention to wind or unwind the DNA, but not to get into that elevated mood of love or joy appreciation. That group had no statistically significant difference. Then the third group was told to get into that elevated mood that can be measured and simultaneously hold a clear intention to unwind or wind the DNA. And over 20, that group had a statistically significant difference. In fact, in some cases, some of the DNA was stretched or tightened up to 25%. And this is just with their minds. And this is using intention with a great feeling. So Buddha said, all that we are is a result of what we have thought. All that we are is a result of what we have thought. So I think of that as personal, like in our own world, but I also think of that as global. And so we are creating this world, and there's a lot of fear out there. And we know that fear, then we start to think about what we don't want. And it's, what we do when we're in fear. But Dr. Goswami says, hold a thought for 17 seconds, and it's like making a phone call to the quantum field. And so we're going to do that right now. I just looked at my time. We've got 5 minutes. So we're going to vividly imagine the end result with a great feeling. We're going to help save the planet. We're going to combine everything. So go ahead and close your eyes. And on your next breath in, take a deep breath in and hold your breath in for as long as you comfortably can. With your eyes closed, look up above your eyebrows, connecting with your higher self and your intuition. And when you breathe out and lower the eyeballs, tell yourself to relax and feel yourself relax as you imagine a sound wave flowing through you from the top of your head, through your body to the tips of your toes. So let's do that a couple more times. On your next breath in, take that deep breath in, hold it in for as long as you comfortably can. Look up above those eyebrows, connect with your third eye, your higher self, your intuition. And when you lower the eyeballs, feel a healing sound wave relaxing the muscles behind your eyes, through your body, down to your toes as you breathe out and begin to feel like you're melting right there into the chair. And let's do that one more time. Deep breath in, hold it in. Look up, connect with that higher self and intuition, angels and guides. And when you lower the eyeballs and breathe out, picture, hear, and feel the most healing sound wave, relaxing the muscles behind your eyes, relaxing the muscles in your jaws, necks, and shoulders down to your toes. Now you can continue to deep breathe or resume normal breathing or both. Either way, right now, send your consciousness down to the center of Mother Earth, perhaps to a green crystal heart center. Imagine yourself there now. And as you breathe, imagine you and Mother Earth are breathing together. And this is the time as you relax and imagine you're in this beautiful crystal green heart center of Mother Earth, or however you imagine it. Go ahead, if you'd like, put your hands on your heart and imagine you are breathing in and out as if you're breathing in and out through your heart. Just focus your breathing on your heart. You can use that light that Lori had just mentioned and breathe in and out through your heart. Invite your heart to open and see and hear and feel your heart opening, perhaps like a rosebud opening to a magnificent red rose, or door opening, or tunnel flowing, or vortex spinning. Just imagine you're breathing in and out as if you're breathing in and out through your heart. And of course, come up with a moment in your lifetime where you felt incredibly wonderful, delightful, magical, grateful, loved, loving, joyful, could even be right now. And go to that memory so you can tap into that feeling and breathe it in and out of your heart. And as you breathe it in and out of your heart, you feel this wonderful feeling. Use that light to imagine now that you can beam that light to any part of the earth that you want, that you know needs healing, whether it's animals or the rainforests. Just imagine this love that you're feeling, this wonderful feeling is being light to that place, to the animals. And remember, you're vividly imagining the end result with a great feeling for 17 seconds. So if you want the elephants to prosper, imagine them just being healthy and happy. If you want the rainforest to grow, see them growing instead of diminishing. And really see it and hear it and feel that end result of your light and your love bathing that area, helping it. And then imagine us all together, perhaps with the earth, we're in the earth, but there's the earth also inside, in the center of millions of people holding their hands, beaming that light from their heart, beaming that love from their heart into the earth right there, bathing the earth, Mother Earth, letting her know that we love her and appreciate all the gifts that she gives. And you can feel that energy coming right back into your heart. It's a dual communication. It's a connection as you are in the primordial soup of healing and light and love. See it and hear it and feel it, connect with it. Enjoy this journey, connect with Mother Earth, let her know that you love her and feel her love for you, so that we can raise the consciousness of humanity and move us all into love. Thank you. So go ahead now. I'm going to count from 1 to 3 and you can open those eyes. 1, 2, 3. Open those eyes, feeling energized. Whew.
There we go. Thank you so much, Randi. That was lovely. Everybody, Randi Light. And we're moving right along because Santa has a lot of houses to stop at before the night is over. And our very next presenter is, by the way, Randi said something interesting that I want you to notice. She said that when you hold a thought for 17 seconds, it's like making a phone call to the quantum field. And the weird thing is, our next presenter, I asked him, I said, what are you going to talk about, Jason? And he said, want to make more money? Don't answer your phone. So what a strange juxtaposition. Cosmic mystery will be unfolded for us just now. So welcome, Jason Linett.
We planned that like 14 months ago, just so you know, and just we've been waiting to this moment, and finally it just happened. So we got it covered. Yeah. And I'm looking around, I see a lot of folks that I already know, some that I'm relatively new to. I'll give an easy bio. Check out worksmarthypnosis.com. It's a free podcast that I do every single week with a lot of people that you see here multiple times over. So there you go. Karen Hand is my favorite hypnotist. Don't tell the others. So this whole theme of how we can think differently about our businesses is something I wanted to come on here and talk about, though we're going to do this in a slightly different way, which would be that sometimes this goes about the route of here's the step-by-step of a strategy, which I will insinuate that as we go through this. Though just like so much of the work that we do, we often find a much greater result when we start to ask some better questions. So take a few moments and kind of take this time to kind of look at the nature of what you currently do in the shape of your hypnosis business, and simply ask what parts of what you do kind of fall into what you perceive to be the expectation of just that's how it's supposed to be done. Which one of my favorite things to often call out to this industry is the little fun nuance that the word hypnosis technically only dates back to like the 1850s, 1870s or so. So in a profession where the word that most of us use to describe what we do has only been around for 150 or so years, we really can't be a community that leans on the premise that, well, that's just how we've always done it. That so often, if you can change your words, you can change your business. And when you change your business, you can actually end up changing your life. So think about this classic model where here's the phone number on the website, here's the phone number on the business card. And Karen, don't laugh at this. Here's the phone book that I sit on, so my chair is level with my camera. And that's, I know, I'm doing this for you. The opportunity where we find the phone number, and the traditional thinking would be person finds the number, they reach out and call you. And I'll share one slight little negative jab here slightly. I've heard this taught in some other circles before that if someone calls you up and they ask you, how many sessions is it going to be? How much is it? It means they're a bargain shopper. It means they're not serious. And I would argue, what the heck else should they be asking? They don't yet know formula. So the beauty of what we do is that very likely our clients have most likely not done hypnosis before, and even better, they've not yet done it with you. So if you can do something to artfully change the entry point as to how someone gets to you, what it actually does is changes the entire dynamic of the conversation with the client, changes the dynamic of the business relationship, and really starts to shift this thinking that no, as much as I can fit into this space, as the majority of clients that I see now are online coaches, entrepreneurs, people who are business owners, who very often begin with the story that I'm afraid of public speaking, I'm afraid of putting myself out there. And where my work used to take them was helping them to resolve that fear, which, hey, this stuff works. The fear would then be cleared away. And yet they'd be the deer in the headlights because now they didn't quite know exactly what to say. They'd be starting to write some information for a website or an email. And again, blank screen of death is what they'd label as writer's block. And as we like to say, if you had a few hypnotic language hacks to inspire action, think about the changes that would create. So we bring this all together because let's now use our good friend, the reframe, and realize that from this day forward, everybody here, you will never market ever again. You'll never advertise from this day forward ever again. You will most likely never promote either, or even to use a word that I can fall into, which sounds better, of you'll never campaign. No, instead, from this day forward, your focus is that of educating and informing. And the beauty of thinking of this first is that the conversation with our ideal audiences now is no longer, what can I sell these people? What offer can I put together? What are they likely going to buy? What price are they going to buy at? But instead, what can I share with them? What can I give them? And this three-step process becomes educating and informing and inviting them to take the next step. So guess what? None of us are ever again in the business of selling hypnosis. And this is where someone might chime in a bigger room and go, yes, because you're selling the results. Guess what? You're not even in the business of selling the results. And the shape of communication, and if you unpack everything I'm talking about here, very Dave Ellman in style, it's instead the mindset that really the one thing you're selling is the next step. Look at the nature of any email you would ever receive. The subject line sells the next step as to whether or not you open the email or just delete it. The first sentence sells the next step as to whether you continue reading. If there's an image or a link, whatever that may be and how it's presented sells, do you take the next step? So up until now, we've kind of been a community that's leaned upon this idea that call this number, book the appointment, call this number, have the consult. This is why this was want to make more money, don't answer your phone. When you change the entry point, when you change that conversation as to how someone reaches out to you. And if I want to talk marketer speak for a quick moment here, the principle is that it begins with an application. Fill out these quick questions to sort of assess where you are right now, pick a time to chat. We'll get on a call and set a best plan of action toward your success. It's where I would do the promo thing and share my phone number, but actually here's all it says. And I've done this a couple of thousand times, so get ready for the road. Hey, it's Jason Linett at Virginia Hypnosis, but you know it's not, I now live in Florida. Hey, it's Jason Linett at Virginia Hypnosis. And for a faster response, please head over to virginiahypnosis.com/call, CALL. That's where you can schedule a specific time that I'll call you back, guaranteed to set the best plan of action toward your success. Next sentence may ruffle some feathers. You're welcome to leave a voicemail here, though given the volume of calls we receive, not all messages can be responded to, which is why we've made this convenient link available at virginiahypnosis.com/call. Thanks so much, and I look forward to speaking and working with you very soon. And scene. So from the Dave Ellman School of Thought, we're only moving past one segment of the induction when we can see the previous step has been accomplished. And here's a quick principle. I'll drop this into the chat so you can see the exact language for this, which would be that recognize that from a hypnotic standpoint, nearly everything we do is a cause and effect relationship. We're establishing a momentum. And the principle behind this as I teach it is that compliance precedes suggestibility. So appropriately, if I have you following a series of steps, you can imagine how now the person who has heard that message or clicked the link on the website and answered a few questions in advance. And ooh, guess what? Most of the questions are having the client begin to hypnotically future pace themselves even before we speak. I'm getting every bit of information, and especially for some of you here that I know are brand new to a lot of this, all of a sudden now we're being able to enter that conversation informed as to what they want to work on, aware of maybe what stories or research we may want to share. This is a principle that I teach, that the further we get into all of this, we have our case studies, we have our raving fans success stories. If you don't have that yet, lean on the success of your profession. Go to scholar.google.com, look at all the research that's out there around hypnosis, and you can talk through the filters of what's there. But do you see what's different now? That now I'm able to go into that call, and now I know, yes, I did, Patricia, my screen is much smaller than normal. Thank you for spell checking me. Thank you. But the opportunity to then communicate with someone, we're ready for that call. We know what stories need to be conveyed. We know what value needs to be presented. And again, now we know the appropriate next step invitation to go out. So this is not necessarily the moment to pop up on the soapbox and say, hey, this is a thing I do called velvet rope. Everybody needs to be using this right now. The whole purpose I share this is to take a bit of time and just look at sort of this end of the year moment that we're in and ask yourself in the shape of your business, in the shape of even the hypnotic techniques that you do. There's been this sanding down of principles over the years of here's this thing that I learned and I do it because I learned it. And then came the testing. If I removed that piece, did I get the same result? Wow, yes, I did. Even faster. What happens when I remove this piece? Oh, it didn't work. And the client started smoking and they didn't even come to me for smoking, which is really weird. So this opportunity to kind of test what we do and prove to ourselves what absolutely has to be there. So while the theme in my final 8 seconds has been around this idea of the phone call. Look at the natures of what you're doing and ask yourself, could I do this in a different way and get a stronger result? Hey, that's how you work smart. Thanks for the invite, Michael and Karen.
Well, you're
The thunderous sound of silent applause.
But yeah, the sound of silent applause of Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah. So what a lovely thing. And thank you so much, Jason, for sharing that with us. We have got a whole collection now of holiday gifts, except we still have one more stop before we get all the way back to the North Pole. And so you'll excuse me for hurrying us along, but it's time now for the hypnotic stylings of none other than our great friend Shelley Stockwell. Who will delight us, I'm sure, with something lovely, a post dinner a cocktail perhaps, or sweet, or a dessert. You're the dessert course, I would suspect, Shelley.
Yes, and you're going to get your just desserts. So everybody, find your picture in this magic screen that you're looking at and take a moment and enjoy your Hollywood square. That means your little sweet face. Just kind of take a moment, put your hands on your cheeks and notice who you are at this moment. And please be very kindly, because sometimes we go, oh, I got a little pimple there. No. Look at yourself and think to yourself, I live in here. I live in here. Isn't that an amazing concept? This is you. I'm proud to be me. I'm proud to be me. Unmute yourselves. I'm proud to be me. I'm proud to be me. And I also see.
And
I
also
see.
You're just as proud to be you.
You're just as proud to be you.
We may look at things a bit differently.
We may look at
things
things
a bit differently. But lots of good people do.
But
Lots of
good
good
people
people do. One more time. I'm proud to
proud
be
to be
me.
me.
Proud to be me.
And I also see.
And I also see.
You're just as proud to be you.
You're just as proud to be you.
We may look at things a bit differently.
We may look at things a bit differently.
But lots of good people do.
Lots of good people do.
So take a deep breath. And this is your just desserts, because every one of you here is doing yourself perfectly. And the moment you forget that is the moment you disavow your perfection. So take a moment again and think how beautiful you are. Because you are the sperm that made it. You're the energy force field that came to this earth walk. And it happened because one day your mom and dad got cozy and put you in a place real rosy. And you started as a one-cell critter who didn't require a babysitter. An expanse of you spread and divided, making your mother quite lopsided. And shortly after, out you came, a fuzzy person without a name. Now, isn't it wild that you showed up that day and not your little brother? And what were you doing just before you fattened up your mother? Your fixtures might have been the opposite gender or any color, your skin so tender. You might have arrived in a Bangladesh hovel thinking of food as something novel. So celebrate life. You're a Freudian slip. You could have been lost twixt the cup and the lip. So everybody take a deep breath and absorb this amazing human being in that Hollywood square, that is you. And it's not anybody else. Well, anybody else is taken anyway, so you're it. Now, I created my deck of me deck. It's my affirmation deck, and I pulled a card for this group. And it just happened that the card I pulled is called laughter. And it says, laughter's what I'm after. And it so happened I pulled the card after I'd taken a sign. I thought, you know, isn't it nice to smile? So take a moment now and smile on the person in your Hollywood square. Smile on them. Smile all over them. Marinate them in a smile. And when you're smiling at that human being, that amazing creature that has 2 eyes and 2 ears and nostrils and a mouth and all kinds of weird orifices, that human being
मैं मेन्यू बना रही हूँ पार्टी का
is a miracle.
मेरे को
Just
तो
a miracle.
टेंशन
So
हो रही
take
है
a
अभी
deep breath. There you go. Now take a deep breath in. Now, there's a part of you that determines how good you feel at any given moment. And I've been doing a lot of research on this particular part of you. Now, I know there's lots of happy parts of you, but we're going to focus on one right now. It's right in the center of your brain. So imagine now that you're drawing a line down from that soft place, you know, you had when you were a baby, and a line right in from your third eye. And let those 2 points of energy meet right in the center of your skull, and breathe right there to the middle of your brain. Ah. And as you breathe there to that middle of your brain, it's called the septum lucidum or the septum pellucidum. And you just take your hands down and relax them for a minute and flip them up on your legs or on your lap if you like, but just breathe to the center of your brain. I'm proud to be me. I'm proud to be me. And absorb that idea. Let it think in, let it sink in, let it permeate every molecule in your body. Let it expand every neuron with neuroplasticity. Let it keep you young forever and breathe to that beautiful center of your brain. And you might notice some light there because you're delightful, you're full of light. And just breathing there, full of light. I'm proud to be me. I'm proud to be me. And I also see you're just as proud to be you. We may look at things a bit differently, but lots of good people do. Take a deep breath. Get all pumped up on yourself. Stick your chest out a little. That's right. Breathe. And when you let it out, and just let your shoulders relax and just sink into that place where you are right now. And imagine that this is the beginning of a whole new chapter. It's the end of our dessert. I mean, it's the end of this feast we're eating, but it's the beginning of a whole new chapter because you're stepping out into tonight and tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and you're going to create your life yourself with a thought, with an action, with a reaction. You are the great creator of yourself. And that center of your brain, as you breathe to it, that septum lucidum, that septum pellucidum is juicy with new possible babies just for you. You are growing and maturing and turning into what God wanted for you. And your gift to God is to give back your best. Take a deep, full breath. Smile on yourself. Smile really big. Smile all over yourself. Now laugh on yourself. Laugh all over yourself. Laugh from the bottoms of your feet to the top of your cute little pointed head. Here we go. I'm proud to be me.
I'm proud to be me.
And I also see
I also see
that you're just as proud to be you.
that you're just as proud to be you.
We may look at things a bit differently,
We
Lots
may
of
look
good
at
things
things
a
bit differently.
differently,
but lots of good people do.
but lots
But
of
lots
good
of
people
good people
do.
do.
So take a deep breath and know that this moment is your creation. You are going to create the next minute, the next hour. You're going to create your dreams. You're going to create your life. You're going to die because you are the great creator. You created yourself from a sperm and an egg, and you're going to continue to create yourself because you are perfection. And the moment you remember it is the moment you're filled with light, and that's called enlightenment. And I hope you've enjoyed your dessert. And hand on the heart. And on the shoulder, and on the shoulder, and on the shoulder. Give yourself a huge hug. Rotate. Hand on the face. And smile all over yourself. Namaste.
Namaste.
Shelley.
Oh, thank you so much, Shelley. What a lovely dessert, in fact, that was, and a beautiful journey for all of us. So we're just about all the way back to the North Pole now. So the thing that I will tell you guys is you will get your Christmas education units if you go to IACT or IMDHA and log in and claim credit. So be sure and get your CEUs. The video will be posted tomorrow by about noon in a variety of places on the virtual chapter Facebook group and on the virtual chapter YouTube channel and on the Mind Matters forum at the IACT and IMDHA websites. So check it out, share it with your friends. It's been such a lovely thing. And Karen, you and I hardly had to do anything this evening. Wasn't that?
This was lovely. It was a great experience. Thank you very much.
And so before we go, I just want to point out that Shelley said something lovely here. And one of the things that I'm remembering is we may look at things a bit differently. So over the course of the last year, man, we've gone through some changes, and a lot of us with the people in our lives. And it occurs to me every day at this time of the year, loving and forgiving and reconnecting, that I wonder if you got somebody in your life that you would like to love a little bit more, because you have the opportunity to do that, and it will really feel wonderful for you to do it. They don't have to approve. So if you've got somebody you want to love a little bit more, now is the time to do it. And maybe, in fact, the question isn't who are you ready, who are you willing to, or who would you like to love a little bit more, but who are you ready to love a little bit more? Find the answer for that inside of yourself and let it go, man. Have a wonderful holiday and just really enjoy the warmth and the beauty that the season has to offer you. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us. It's been a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love this. We'll see you next month, same time, same bat channel, and have a great holiday, y'all.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Great to see everyone.
Yay.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Very lovely, Michael. Thank you.